Hi there, it's Rachel Martin, and you're listening to Parenting Teens Podcasts. Today, I want to talk to you about healthy coping mechanisms that your teens can challenge themselves to do. And in fact, you can get involved in as well to help them to help themselves managing their anxiety. We're going to go through 5 different coping mechanisms today, and hopefully they'll give you some ideas so that you can support your teen in a moment of anxiety. So the first thing that I want to talk about is encouraging open communication. Being able to create a safe and supportive environment where your teen feels comfortable enough to express their emotions isn't always easy. It can be really challenging for us as parents, not only because you need to find the time and the place and the space when your teen wants to talk, but don't underestimate how hard it is for us to sit and listen about our teen's emotions. And to help you with this, it's about showing empathy to your teen and not taking on board their emotions. This is what can put us into the fix it place and trying to fix how they're feeling, when in reality, most of the times, teens just want to be able to share how they're feeling. So if you can resist that opportunity to fix and can validate their feelings and tell them it's okay to feel like this, and then to sit and listen with empathy and understand what it's like to live as them in their world, this will really help them to see the benefit of talking through their feelings and emotions, of how communicating with others can really support when you're in a moment of anxiety. Number 2, bit of a quirky one because I like this sort of thing. Grounding techniques, but specifically with nature. So you've all heard of mindfulness and the things that that can do, but I wanted to put a point out specifically for doing some things that encourage your teen to spend time outdoors, connecting with nature in a different sort of way to normal. So some of the things that I've come across that can help are things called earthing, which can involve things like walking barefoot on grass or sand or soil. And it's believed that this promotes relaxation, which will help reduce anxiety because you're reconnecting with a different sensory feeling and it's connecting with Earth's energy, apparently. But I can completely understand how changing the feeling of where I'm standing or what I'm doing can help to pull me out of anxious thoughts. There's other ideas like engaging in activities like tree hugging. Not too sure how successful that one will be, but you never know. Or cloud gazing. All these things can help ground your teen and provide a sense of calm when all they've been feeling is anxious and worry. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure how much luck you're going to get in asking your teen to hug a tree, but sometimes it's the slightly different ideas that get the most traction when it comes with teens. So never dismiss something that may just seem a little bit crazy, because it could be crazy enough to help in the moment. Number 3 is one of my personal favorites, and I use this a lot in therapy myself. It's the encouragement of laughter. Encourage your teen to engage in laughter. Intentionally seek out together humor and laughter to help relieve stress and anxiety. This could include anything from watching funny videos or movies, maybe even take them to a comedy show, or you could take part in laughing yoga sessions. Because, yeah, seriously, that is a thing. As is laughter therapy as well. There is real science to back up the difference we feel when we laugh, and laughing is contagious. So this can be something that could help you both. My honest suggestion of how you could do this, slightly easier, would be have a session on watching those videos that I know are on the internet that are specifically called Try Not to Laugh, and do it together and see who laughs first and make it a bit of a competition. Because laughter releases endorphins, and that's the body's natural feel-good chemicals, and that can help reduce anxiety and improve mood. And it's just a little bit unconventional, but it is really effective. So try and laugh with your teens when they're in a moment that they don't understand what else to do. Number 4 of my tips is sensory stimulation. And basically, this is just exploring different sensory inputs that your teen can have. Finding techniques that maybe utilize methods to soothe anxiety instead of trying to just stop it. One example that jumps to my mind is ASMR sounds or videos, autonomous sensory meridian response videos. Now, some of you may have heard of these videos already. I have seen some of them. They're very popular on TikTok. But these videos often involve some kind of gentle sounds or whispers. And the idea is that this triggers sensations in us and help us to promote a feeling of relaxation. Now, I'm pretty sure your team will probably have heard of these and will have potentially watched them and made a choice if they're them for them or not. But my thinking here is that maybe you can ask them about these videos. Maybe ask them to educate you on how they help or don't help. And whilst you're being educated from your teen about these videos, you can see how they react and how they feel with them. There are gabillions of these things out there, so it's literally a minefield. But if you fall across something that really does help your teen, surely that's got to be worth a go. Other ideas are things like sensory toys such as stress balls, fidget spinners, kinetic sand, magnetic toys. There's loads of things out there. But the idea is to provide some kind of tactile stimulation to help distract and calm any anxious thoughts that are going on. These can be really helpful as well if you're trying to have a conversation with your team and they aren't looking all that comfortable about sitting there and talking. Having something in their hands won't always distract them from the conversation. In fact, sometimes it really helps them to engage more. And this is something I find time and time again in therapy. I will encourage my clients to have something to fiddle around with, to mess about with whilst they're talking to me, because it really does help them to engage. So, some other sensory ideas: walking barefoot on grass, like we said earlier, or listening to music. Just make sure with your teen it's music that uplifts them or energizes them. Teens can be a cracker for trying to find music that reaffirms the feeling of sadness that they're stuck in at that point in time. So, just do a quick sense check there that it's the right type of music to shift how they're feeling. The other side of things is identifying smells that bring comfort so they can take it around with them in anxious places and use it as something to help calm them down. You can get as creative as you like with these things. Just think about all our senses and how you could potentially fire these up in a way that will help your teen to escape the anxiety spiral. So, the fifth tip that I wanted to talk about is getting them back to what they enjoy. Encouraging your teen to explore the things that they used to enjoy, that they used to do a while ago, or that you know they enjoy and that they've dropped at the moment because of the level of anxiety. We all know anxiety can bring with it a huge lack of motivation. So you can take the opportunity to be your teen's motivation and help them get back into these things that they used to enjoy. It can be anything that's creative, like doing art or listening to music. It could be active things like team sports or individual exercise. Even things like writing, cooking, or even making creative videos for their social media accounts. Spending time doing what they enjoy, doing them just for the act of doing them, can really help draw them out of the spiral of anxious thoughts. Now, this can be challenging for us as parents to support your teen's interests, especially if you don't have any experience or knowledge in those interests. It can be quite unnerving and it can be quite difficult for us to engage there. For example, I'm not sure how many of you out there have or know how to create TikTok videos. However, there is more to this than just spending time with your teen. Providing access to resources for your team for these things they enjoy, making it easier for them to engage in these things that they enjoy, really can promote them to have a go at getting back. That might be providing art materials to get back into doing one-off piece, or asking your team if they want to compete with you in some kind of exercise, or maybe getting involved and watching or asking them to explain the things that they enjoy. These can help them to overcome the barrier of not being able to get back into it. Now, teens can resist this because of perfectionism or fear of failure. So it's really important for you as their parent to emphasize the process of this. The point of this is to get them back into a sense of being able to control their feelings. And it's about celebrating any efforts they're making to help themselves here. And actually, the outcome isn't what's so important. And if you really want to push it on this one, maybe you could even learn the latest TikTok dance yourself, or learn how to play Fortnite with your team. Trust me, both of these things will bring you a massive new level of respect for how your team is able to do these things. Because trust me, none of these two things are simple in the slightest. I know this. So there's one final piece that I wanted to speak about, which is actually tip number 6 about a healthy coping mechanism, but it's something that you're actually involved in with your teen already. And it's about promoting healthy relationships. If you can help your teen develop and maintain positive relationships with friends, family, you, and to be honest, anyone else who's involved in their life, it can really help them to navigate some of the difficult pieces that play into anxiety, especially if your teen struggles with social anxiety. Helping them to understand how to navigate conflicts in relationships or how to communicate boundaries is something they're going to need to learn. But providing guidance and modeling healthy communication and maybe conflict resolution skills with your team is really, really helpful. So how you act in those moments with them really makes a difference to the health of their relationships with other people. There's also an opportunity that maybe you can share times where you had to respond and not react. How you've communicated boundaries with people before. Maybe you could talk about how sometimes you feel that this was really difficult for you, but you knew that it was really important and that's why you continued. Your teen may completely resist opening up about their relationships with other people. And this could be because they're worried about how you'll judge them, or you might reject them, or really disapprove of the relationships that they hold. So, coming up with opportunities for just a casual chat, a bit of a conversation together. And at those points, it's key to make sure you're listening to learn. You're listening to learn what it's like to be your teen. And you're showing them that healthy relationships involve input, but also involve supporting. And that's what you're doing in that moment for your team. You're helping them understand how to have healthy relationships. And the key to this one for you as a parent will always be about empathy and not sympathy. Overall, I think we can all agree being patient and supportive and also consistent is always going to be key when your teen struggles with anxiety. Making sure you've always addressed any of your own challenges around this and that your understanding of how you can help your teen is key and very clear in your mind. When you're aware of these things, you can show your teen how they can face some of their own fears. When you understand the reason behind any resistance they may have that are drawing them more towards unhealthy coping mechanisms instead of the healthy ones, then you can effectively guide your team towards adopting positive coping strategies instead. It's all about understanding them and helping them to give something different a try. I wish you the best of luck with this and really hope these tips have helped. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, if this helped, please subscribe and leave me any comments if there's anything more I can give you. Cheers. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much if you've listened this far. I really hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful. Don't forget to never miss another episode. Please click the subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening on. As always, if you have any feedback or ideas, please do get in touch. I always love to hear from anyone who's been listening to these. You can find me at teentherapistonline.com for my website, or Facebook and Instagram. I'm Teen Therapist Rachel Martin. I will always reply, so please, if you have anything you want to let me know about or ask about, please do just get in touch. And if you're feeling really, really lovely and you're listening on Spotify, you could leave me a review, which would really mean the world to me. Once again, I'd just like to say thanks, and I hope you have a super lovely day.